Hey, today we're telling you the story of Jessica and Ian. They're this week's fertility heroes. They've recorded all their highs and lows in trying to have a baby, and it's taught them that love and hope really conquers all. But before we begin, we publish new content all the time, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Going through this process, we've learned a lot about each other.
Yeah, definitely. Other than buying a house, they say having a baby, or I suppose you could also say trying for a baby is probably one of the most stressful things they can do.
Yeah, but it's not meant to be stressful.
Yeah, but it is.
Yeah, it's stressful for us.
Yeah. And the fact that we've managed to, go through it together. Very few arguments. Some, but it's very few.
Yeah.
I think says a lot about the strength of our relationship.
We went for a second round of IVF in March. I went to a clinic and I said to them, what can we do differently this time? We put a whole plan together, and unfortunately the clinic didn't follow through what they offered me. They did exactly the same thing as last time, but I didn't fall pregnant. And I don't know if that was a mental thing. I don't know if my body wasn't right. I don't know if it was because it just wasn't correct at the right time, but it didn't work. At that particular time, I went downhill. I went through a really bad depression. And at the time, I didn't even realise it. In the end, I did reach out to a counsellor. I went to go and see someone. And then I started investigating. Ian and I decided that we were going to go for round 3. And we got to the point where we decided that we were going to go and look at a clinic abroad, because I really wasn't happy the way that it was dealt with, that they didn't follow through what I wanted to do at this particular clinic, and I was really, really disappointed. And actually I just felt like I was a number at this clinic, and yeah, it just didn't work. And so we did investigating. We found an amazing clinic, and this is where the magic has, in my eyes, happened. This is where I have found someone that actually cares about me as an individual. So I actually ended up having a 3D Doppler scan, which I found very hard to find anywhere in the UK to do one. So we went over to Spain, and they discovered that I've got endometriosis. So this is something that I didn't actually at this point know about. I didn't understand it. And again, it was something the clinic in the UK hadn't picked up on. So I felt very, very frustrated. And it was a little bit soul destroying, but you have to move forward. So when I went for the scan, they also found that I had fluid in my fallopian tubes. So they turned around to me, and the clinic said to me, right, go home, have your fallopian tubes taken out, or one, entirely up to you. There was one, my left one, that had fluid in it. And this will help your situation. Whether in endometriosis, we can use a Prozac injection. So basically it puts you into a low menopause, and when it goes into the low menopause, it will give your body time to reduce the inflammation that's going on inside. If you think it's not even just been the trying for the baby, but everything I've been through with the operation, I think that's been a massive turning point for me, because
I should be talking about the one where they had to try and go into.
Yeah, to have my fallopian tubes out. But putting that aside, just going into an operation where usually I've had my mum there, and it was just you that time. That's a huge thing for me, because my anxiety of going into an operation theatre and going that was, I have huge anxiety about sound. So when I went to go and find a gynecologist, unfortunately no one would touch me because I have a colostomy bag. That was in the September, had the operation in November. And then we tried again in March this year when we fell pregnant again. The second time, that not working out. So yeah, it's been a bit of a journey. I ended up in hospital, and I was in hospital for 7 hours, and I ended up having it scraped, so the pregnancy didn't all come out, so it had to come out. And then they did lots of tests because they wanted to find out why I was in so much pain. And then it turns out that I've got something called endometriosis, which I've now sort of researched a little bit, and endometriosis and endometriosis sort of go hand in hand. But what was incredible is that the NHS never told me about this. So when I went back to the clinic after the miscarriage, we had a follow-up session, and they said to me, right, we want you to go for a biopsy. We want to go, like, let's do everything we possibly can for you. Let's find out, investigate a little bit further. So I ended up going for I can never say the word properly, but hysteroscopy. Anyway, they go and take a biopsy from your womb lining, and this all happened and everything, and thank goodness it all came back fine. But because they asked for my notes of when I had the miscarriage and from the hospital, they picked up on the endometriosis. And it was just incredible, because that is when it was picked up from the clinic from Spain. And he was like, well, we never knew that you had this. And then all of a sudden, it's like, right, we can now crack on and we can do something else for you. Doing the daily exercise and everything, I think, where you've let me do it and then you've incorporated it as well, and we do it together, I think that is such a huge thing to show people that you can do it as a team. And you can, it helps with your results, and it helps it helps ignite that passion and that staying together. So putting that with the journey that we've been through, I think we've used that tool. We've used exercise as a tool to thrash out our frustrations and thrash out when things have not gone our way, that we use that for our mental health as such. And the fact that, some people will just build anger up and not release anything. But I know personally that when I am really upset or sad or angry, I can do a workout, and then it can help with so many different emotions.
Absolutely. It builds up or releases all your endorphins. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
It takes away the stress.
So this is where I am now. It's been such a long journey, and I feel very, very happy that we've done everything again. So we now have been in a 3-month post-tap, which basically down-regulates the cycle. I feel that my body has, the inflammation's gone. But the biggest thing for me is, after my miscarriage, I was like, I either sink or swim. I either go and go really depressed like I did last year, or I can go all in and I'm going to throw myself into my well-being. My mental state, I needed to work on it, and I decided to go all in with my exercise and my nutrition. And this is where I feel like looking at my hormones and working on your body that way has been a massive, major difference to how the medication has reacted to me, how my mental state has reacted to me, and it's been incredible. It's been absolutely incredible, and now we're at a stage where we're just about to go to transfer again. I'm very, very excited. We've just come back this morning from my lining scan. It's all nice and cozy, and we're ready to go. There's not many, and I know this from talking to other Beachbody coaches, is that there's not a lot of partners and husbands that support their wives. They think it's a lot of...
I think we're quite fortunate as well. We can have the ability to do things like grow our own vegetables.
Yeah.
In the garden, which is definitely 1,000 times better than pick up in the local supermarket.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I just think the whole nutrition thing and how it's made you feel, and I love the fact that you came down on that. Like, it just sticks in my brain. You came down and you said, you know, you was telling your colleague how much you felt so much energy and you felt so much more better in yourself. You know, and for me, that's really powerful, because I think that, you know, what I like to implement in every day to make sure that the family's happy and healthy is a really important thing. I mean, that hopefully is helping the whole process of what we're doing at the moment. So I do think that the nutrition side had some huge impacts on round 4, even though it wasn't successful. I do feel that I didn't bloat as much and the inflammation wasn't so much. And yeah, I think it's a really good thing to continue, and we'll continue into round 5.